Welcome everyone, super excited to bring us the patch 1.5 livestream summary. So the first thing is, if you guys haven't seen the 3 promo codes, here are the promo codes. I'll also have those in the videos. Make sure you grab them because they do have expiry date about 24 hours. And the second thing is, I did a quick estimation of all the possible events for patch 1.5. So as you can see over here, we have the screenshots. And during the particular livestream and after livestream, I made a summary of the rough estimation of the possible Primogems we can get for patch 1.5. We'll go through this one quickly, then we'll go through the images of Inazuma of all the events for the livestream. So what we're looking at is 600 Primogems for the patch update. This is the usual amount for any of the updates for the new patch. After that, there's 120 Primogems for the Zunli and also Eula side quest, 60 Primogems for each. There's also 2 new hangout with Diana and also Noel for 60 Primogems each, and there's a 120 Primogems. Now for the patch 1.5 events, there are 5 of those as we go through the images. Now I think 3 of those events will have about 420 Primogems because it's a standard event. There is a major event for about 820 Primogems. We have talked about how this is estimated in the previous videos. So what I'm thinking is, if we add those 2 together, we can get about 2040 Primogems for those 5 events. Now one of the special event is a double loot job for the experience books, or for the talent books. So this one doesn't give us Primogems. So you can see only 4 events gave Primogems. And also there's likely over 150 Primogems from the patch 1.5 achievements. So I'm trying to think of all the Primogems we can get for patch 1.5. I didn't include the 300 over here from the promo codes because they're kind of, patch 1.4. Now during the recording of the video, I also remembered we can get 600 more Primogems with a housing update. So once we see the screenshots for the housing details, guys, you can see that for the housing, we get 60 gems per level, and there's 10 levels of that. So this adds up to 600 more Primogems for patch 1.5. And altogether, we're looking at about 3,630 gems. So I was thinking, previously it's about 3,000, and with the 600 gems, this one looks much better. So at least we got 20 wishes out of those. There's a lot more gems to come, we'll count on those as well. But the 600 looks good. I'm sure we might get more quests with the housing. So I've definitely missed some, but here is a rough estimation of how much Primogems we can get for patch 1.5. Now I do want to apologize. In the previous video, we had a recording problem with the files being a little corrupted, and I couldn't show you guys the Inazuma preview in the live stream of the recording. So what's happening is, at the end of the live stream, there is the Chinese voice actor for Raiden, which she is actually the particular Archon, the Electro Archon, or they call her Ba. So she is the Electron Archon, and this is the Chinese voice actor describing some of the structures and infrastructures for Inazuma. I'll also have a short clip of us watching it during the live stream. I recovered some of the recordings at the end of this video. So to summarize what's happening is, you can see the background. There is the Chinese description of the particular zones of Inazuma. For this image, it's actually the particular forge. And this particular forge is within the mountains. And this forge have been postponed and stopped working because of the ongoing war with Inazuma. So we can see the next picture. And on this picture, this is the Inazuma, the palace. For this particular palace, this is where the most respected people live in the palace. This is at the highest point of palace where the Electron Archon rules supreme with Inazuma. So we do see a few of the images. And as you can see in the English and also the Chinese preview, we don't have any timings on Inazuma, but we do get some of the concept art and also the visuals for Inazuma. And those are the parts I missed in the previous recording, because the file disappeared. So here are some of the previews for Inazuma.
如今因战事而停歇，但其壮阔精巧，自百里外亦可尽览。此乃盗七城天守，正是盗七列岛之中最为尊崇者的居所。
So this is the Inazuma preview.
于盗七城
We're
之高
back.
处守望众生，浮世景色百千年依旧。
So
人之在世，却如白鹭与泡影般虚无。
basically, it is showing us the Inazuma preview
有没有萌生出想要来盗七游历
of the introduction with a few of the Chinese histories behind it, not the Chinese, the history of the land behind it.
名神大社的话，出发前记得要先准备好供奉哟。
Now let's come over to the exciting part. So we're going to use the images this time to look at all the summaries for patch 1.5. The first one are the banners. Over here we can see 2 banners revealed for patch 1.5. The first banner will come with a only banner with Yanfei. Now in the live stream they did say that the dates will be revealed later, but if you guys remember the Venti and also the Child banners, Child was on this side and also Venti was on the the other side. So Venti and Zonli will likely going to be the first banner using the order from the patch 1.4 order. So the Zonli rerun will come first with Yanfei in his banner. After that we're going to have Eula on the second banner. Each of the banners are likely going to have about 21 to 22 days, so adding up about 42 days for the entire duration of patch 1.5. So now we know the banners, let's go through the 5 different events. So the first event we have is going to be a ruin event. In this event, you'll be fighting different monsters, and they will drop special ruins on the location. 37 different ruins with purple grade, blue grade, and also green grade of ruins. Now if you haven't seen the ruin video, I do recommend you have a look. We talk about how those ruins buff our characters massively. Now with those ruins, what we will be doing is, we'll be doing special challenges with those ruins, and they will give us more Primogems. Now during this event, we'll be able to challenge different fight of the monsters, very similar to the previous boss modifying event, and this will give us a lot of Primogems. And in this major event, we'll also get a free Diana, and this one's confirmed in the live stream. We have talked about this previously. There is a free Diana, 4-star Diana to be found in this major event. And as we keep going, we're going to come to the second event. Now the second event is the Misty Dungeon. I only took one screenshot over here, but during the Misty Dungeon, we'll be fighting monsters using a preset of characters. We won't be using our own characters. And during this particular dungeon, all the characters will gain 300 additional elemental mastery and special elemental effects which deal shockwave damage upon reactions of the elements. So we get special buffs, but we'll be using special characters. We can't use the characters we have. Notice all the characters are level 80, and you get to see those characters for that particular dungeon. And over here we can see some of the puzzles and also mazes from the live stream. You want to be solving those for additional buffs, and once you solve those for additional buffs, you also want to turn off the turrets for different elemental effects. Notice Mona with Hydro is turning off the Pile Towers. So this is a special Misty Dungeon with a preset of characters, not the characters we have. So this one will be quite challenging because you want to combine different characters with different elemental combos. Now the next event we have is actually quite interesting. This is for hunting the unusual Helichord, the Mr. Wii. Each time you hunt him, we can get 60 Primogems. I'm estimating at least 420 Primogems from him. And how we're hunting him is, we're actually asking help from Elon Musk. So if you guys remember the daily commissions we can do, just speak to the Helichords, and by speaking to the Helichords, we gain inside information of where the boss is, and we hunt him down. So this one's quite interesting. So it's like an insider, and she's translating where the Helichord is, and once you find the Helichord, you can hunt him down for the special items they provide. And for those particular items, what you can see is not only you get Primogems and also experience books, you also gain the furnishing for the special housing part, which we'll cover very soon. Now the next event is very straightforward. This one gives us double loot for the particular talent books of the day. So you can fight 3 times with double loot for 20 reasons and get the double loots. And basically this gives us 63 reasons for going for the talent books. This is very similar to the ley lines, but this time it's for the talent books. So it's additional resource, likely this one runs for a week. So we're looking at 63 reasons for 7 days, about 420 more reasons from this one. We do not get any Primogems for this one though. And finally, we have the special PvP co-op event with the hide and seek. So this one is the one I was quite excited with. In Chinese, they're calling this one the Hidden Kitty, and basically you're given the 2 different factions. You become hunters, and also you can become the rebels. As the rebels, you can turn yourself into a prop material. You can turn yourself into a pole, into a strawman, and it's up to the hunters to find you. You'll gain special skills during this event. It can be played during co-op, so maybe up to 4 different players. And depending on which of the side you pick, you'll have special skills. There's also special items to be looted in the field. So for the rebels, you want to pretend you are structure and avoid the hunters as long as you can. For the hunters, you have special skills to find the rebels, and sometimes they're straw, sometimes they're a box over here, so it's up to you to find them. And in this particular event, you'll be getting Primogems in terms of the special kitty coins. You can purchase those particular items from the event shop using those coins. And by winning your special hide and seek, you will get more coins. So this one's quite interesting. Maybe a lot of ways to hide yourself in the corner and different ways to find each other. Now you won't be able to hide all the time and pretend to be not moving, because it will be a special drop box for the loot. So it's like an air drop box that's coming into the game after a certain period. And both the rebels and also the hunters wants to grab the box, because that will give you a special benefit to win the particular minigame. So you can't just stay put all the time. You want to be moving a little bit as well. Quite excited for this one. And let me know what you guys think about this. Maybe we'll come up with some strategies and some ways to play this as well. Now coming to the housing system. I'm sure you guys are quite excited for this one, and so am I. So as we can see over here, each level of the housing system seems to be giving us 60 Primogems. So this means we can get about 600 Primogems from the housing system. And after that, during the housing system, you can be building a lot of things everywhere. If you saw the live stream, guys, you can see how fascinating and how big the housing system is. And you can speak to the cute little teapot spirit over here about the housing system. There's two things I want to highlight for the housing system. The first thing is, you'll be gaining resource for the more furnitures you build in the housing system. And those resources allows you to purchase in the game for different items. You can be purchasing Mara, you can purchase the special federal resin that expires in about 7 or 14 days. So this one expires with the federal resin. You can also purchase the artifact experience, so those one can be purchased every week, and they're really good for additional resource. Now on top of the standard shop, there is also a secret merchant in the housing system. And as you guys can see over here, you can actually buy dogs. You can buy the puppies and also you can buy the cats. So different puppies, you can buy them, and also different furnitures, different rocks, and depending on the merchant of the day, you will have different merchandise. So this particular merchant is a rare one. So what's going to happen is, randomly you'll find him in your housing system, and if you don't, if your friend find him, you can join him as a co-op and also buy those particular items. So you can buy NPCs, and you can see the dogs over here, and maybe you can buy some helichos. This is quite exciting, and also you get a lot of structures and a lot of decoration for the housing system. So the currencies we'll earn in the housing system will allow us to buy in the standard shop and also a secret merchant shop, which is quite rare in the game. Now coming over to the new monsters and also bosses that was revealed in the game. There's also the PV trailer if you guys want to have a look. So the first one we have is actually the Geolord, which is coming in the Zonely side quest. On the second part of the side quest, he will be appearing. I've been telling you guys he's really chubby, and as you can see over here, he is going to be the weekly boss for 60 resin. There's also a special feature in the game which is going to lower the cost of the weekly boss by half for the first 3 weekly boss. So we save 90 resin for the weekly boss. So we have 3 weekly boss now, it will be 4 weekly boss, and we can save 90 resin. And this weekly boss and all the other weekly boss, I believe, might drop a special item that allow us to convert different elements of the crafting materials, different character essential materials. We'll talk about this when more of that is revealed. Now the next boss we have is actually the QoL boss. This is a 40 resin elite boss, and that's going to drop the special upgrade materials for Eula. Notice how Eula is coming on the second banner, so we can farm those materials for her on the first banner, and then prepare that when she comes out, we can have the materials for her. This one, similar to all the other cubes, this one have a special technique or special way of fighting when it's really low on HP. You will try to heal yourself, and will have to do something special to defeat this one. And finally, there is also new monsters for the Spire Abyss. There will be the Abyss Herald and also the Abyss Lecter that will be joining us, and they are very special. The Abyss Herald have the twin blade which will increase our cooldown when it attacks us. The Abyss Lecter, which is like a scholar, like a mage, is a caster. This is a electro one. The Herald is a hydro one. So notice there's a lot of elements of the heralds that might be coming. So for this one, it will be dealing a lot of different lightning attacks. And if the lightning attacks hits you, you will lose your energy and you can't cast your burst spells. So the warrior one increase our cooldown, the mage one reduce our energy. Trying to get my head around. So those will be very challenging monsters in the Spire Abyss, which I do plan to make a video on those. Those are very challenging. Now over here we can see the new items and also the new artifacts that's coming to the game. We have made a coverage on those ones. I'll briefly make a summary. So for the two-hand claymore, this one will increase physical attack, and also attack percentage. And definitely check out the previous video on this weapon, but this one will be very similar to the Venti particular bow. So after a few stacks, this will increase attack speed and also damage of the team, but this one does not stack with the new Venti bow. Keep that in mind. And for the detailed stats, check out the previous video on the Claymore. Now the two artifact sets are pretty interesting. The first one is made for Zhong Li. Increase your HP by 20%, and when elemental spells hits the enemy, you'll be increasing your team's attack by 20% and also the shield by 30%. This can occur every 0.5 seconds, only lasts for 3 seconds, but your characters don't have to be on the field. So when Zhong Li casts a pillar, then he disappears into someone else switching into the field, you can also get this buff all the time because the pillar is dealing damage to the enemies. So this is pretty much made for Zhong Li. We do have the summary for this one as well on our previous video. And similarly, the second particular artifact is for Eula. So 2 pieces increase physical damage by 25%, with 4 pieces with a newly buffed buff. So when you deal elemental damage, you gain 9% attack, and also with 2 stacks, you'll be gaining the maximum stack of 18% attack and also 50 physical damage bonus, 50%. So I'm running this a little quicker because I think most of us have known about the artifacts. But it's confirmed, and those are super buffed, especially the physical one. Now in case you guys are wondering, there will be a new artifact dungeon, and it's located at the corner of the dragon spine. And you can see the particular artifact dungeon will be located over here. So there might be a special location over here for the artifact dungeons. And the particular QoL boss will be appearing in the dragon spine as well, the QoL Elite. I think it's over here, So you can see the particular icons during the live stream of those locations for the new, the fights and also new monsters. Now we have mentioned previously, there was some quality of life changes. There was actually the, the reduce of the cost of the weekly boss for half the weekly boss for the first 3 bosses. There's also a really good change because of the big file size in the game. So this change allows you to pick the language you want to use and download that language. So you don't have to download too much gigabytes of the update data with each of the language patches. So this is actually a really good quality of life change for the mobile players and also the PS4 players. Even the computer players, if you want to save some storage, you can download the voice you want to use. So there's a few of the quality of life change. I think this is the best one. And this will allow us to not download like 10 gigabytes every time there's a new update. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and also turn the little bell on for the latest news. I'll be looking towards to make more builds, guides, tips, and news and event updates for us as we come further into the game. And as always, I wish you guys the best of luck with Genshin and have the most fun in exploring this wonderful world.